Okay, so I'm filming this using my iPhone, looking down on my iPad, because I want you to see in real time how easy it is to just physically do this. So I'm opening iMovie and I hit plus, and the first thing I'm going to do is pick a video that I want to edit. So let's say this is my video that I'm working on, and I just hit create movie. The first thing I'm going to do once I'm in here is clip off the little beginning and ending part. So you can see me stop talking here. All right, let's get started. And that's why I suggest that you stop and kind of smile at the camera for just a second so you have a good moment to cut. So once I've figured out where that's going to be, I just tap it and hit split. And it splits that ending part off. You see how this is highlighted in yellow, and I hit delete. Now I go to the beginning and I'm going to do the same thing. This is me just kind of sitting down, getting adjusted, getting ready for the teleprompter to start. Hi, I'm Amy. There I am taking that little breath before I start. Hi. All right, right there is going to have to do it. I should be looking at the camera right there. I didn't do a very good job of it, but I'm not going to re-record it. I hit split, I tap on the part I want to delete, and I hit delete. Now the beginning and ending is gone. So let's say I want to drop in a picture somewhere, maybe right here. Over the years, okay, so maybe that's it. If I want to drop in a picture right here, then what I do is I go to Photos, and I've made a special folder for photos for this video. It helps so you're not spending forever searching for them. And maybe I want to drop in this picture of a cocktail because I wrote a book about booze, so it's not entirely out of the question that I'd have a cocktail picture I want to drop in. I want to add it as cutaway so that we cut away from me and we look at that picture instead. Okay, so there's our photo. Now, where do we want this photo to end? I can see that I kind of come to a stopping point in the audio right here, so I'm guessing that's maybe where I want to wind up that whatever it is I'm talking about. And some of it's actually really surprised me. Maybe it's that I want to get all the way to surprised me and then I come back. Actually really surprised me. Of course, a book video. That looks kind of cool. So if that was the image you wanted, then that's how you do it. If you change your mind and you don't want that picture, all you do is tap and delete and it's gone. Now I mentioned title cards, that you want to add a title card at the beginning. So here's my title card, and I'm going to just hit the plus, and it's going to put it before the video. So it'll actually play before the video. Now there's a weird thing with iMovie that you have to do, which is tap it and hit Ken Burns enabled and turn it to Ken Burns disabled. iPad has this annoying feature that it defaults to, which is what it calls the Ken Burns effect of the camera panning all over the photo. But I just want the photo to be still. It's funny that Ken Burns is so famous that he has an iMovie effect named after him. I just want this to be really short. I don't want people to sit through a long intro, so I just shorten it up with my finger and let me hit play and see how I like it. Hi, I'm Amy Stewart. I'm the author of 12. That's cool. There's a lot of different options for transitions right here. If you just click on it, it'll give you different ways of dissolving or wiping or fading. I could change this to this, wipe. Let's see what that looks like. Hi, I'm Amy Stewart. I'm the author of 12. So you can play around with those if you want. So I've shown you how to add a picture at the beginning. You could do the very same thing at the end. Let's say that at the end of the video you wanted just to drop in a link to your website or a picture with all your books on it. Again, I hit the plus sign because I want it to be the full image and there's not going to be any audio. And I have that annoying Ken Burns thing that I have to turn off. Please stop that. Ugh, I hate that thing. So then I can also cut this and make it shorter. I don't need it to be anywhere near this long. I just want it to be super, super short so that it just, let's see, it just goes like this. All right, let's get started. Perfect. Okay, I'll delete that. I don't really need that. Remember also, you're not affecting the original video clip here. Your original video clip is safe. You're just playing around in a project. It never alters your original. So I've shown you how to drop a photo in on top of what you're talking about. Let me also make it clear that that can be useful if you mess up. Remember how I told you to just have a moment of silence if you mess up? Do you see it on this audio thing? I was quiet for a minute. It sort of helps because I may need to cut, and if I have a little bit of extra room here, it just gives me room to position it. So let's say that I coughed or did something I don't like. I don't have an example of that on this video, so it's going to be a little weird whatever I pick. But let me try to just pick a spot where maybe I want to cut a little bit.
Kind of a good way to give a book another little push once it's been out there for a while.
Okay, maybe I want to stop right then. You can see at least I closed my mouth for a second. All right, if there's a little tiny thing I want to cut out, like a cough or just a stumble, I make sure I stop right before it happens. And then I'm going to hit split, and I'm going to move it forward. I might be able to actually see where the stumble happens on the audio. In this case, I don't have an actual stumble to show you, so I'm just going to skip ahead to another little place where I'm quiet. Am I quiet for a second? Okay, let's listen.
This yourself.
Okay, I was quiet for a second there. So this is much longer than a cough, but let's just pretend that this is my cough. This will just give you a general sense of how this works. I hit split again. So let's say this area is my cough, and again, I know a cough would be much shorter than this, but I'm just trying to demonstrate it for you. I click the part I want to delete, and I hit delete, so now it's gone. But you can see that it's going to be a little awkward right here. Watch this.
Out there for a while. I'm going to teach you exactly.
So you saw how it did that little skip. Now, if you don't like, it's fine to leave a little skip like that in, especially if the audio kind of works, and it does here. Let's listen to the audio again.
For a while. I'm going to teach you exactly how.
So that sounds fine, you just visually you can see it. But if you would like to cover that little skip with a picture, maybe you have an image that relates to what you're saying right there. There's no reason why you can't just drop it in. So I'm going to drop this down. What it was doing just now was downloading it from iClouds, because all my pictures get uploaded to iCloud. It has to re-download them when I need them. So I'm going to click the three dots and hit the cutaway again. And I can cover that little oopsie moment, and I can make it as long or as short as I want it. I'm just going to have to figure out what seems natural so it maybe doesn't look like I'm covering a mistake. I don't know how this is going to be. Let's just see.
Another little push once it's been out there for a while. I'm going to teach you exactly how I make and edit my own videos.
Like I might want to take it all the way to the end of that phrase. So I'm just sort of trying to figure out.
My own videos using equipment and edit my own videos.
Kind of right there. Let's see if I can scoot it back.
Make and edit my own videos using equipment like an iPad.
So that seems like kind of a natural transition. So that's a way to just cover up a little mistake. And if you decide you don't want to do that, you can always just click it and delete that image and just live with the little skip. It's totally fine to do that. Okay, now I said I would show you how to insert a video. And again, when you're adding a video, there's a couple ways to do it. One is, oops, I got to go back here and I got to pick video. And then I go back into my same Skillshare photo. For some reason, it makes you go look for, you got to get out of photo and back into video. So video, Skillshare. Now I have this video of some goats that I was talking about when I was explaining how this works. So let's go ahead and use this. So I'm going to grab this video. Now let's say I want to cut away. I don't want to listen to the goats. We're going to listen to me talking, but we're just going to cut away to the visual of the goats. Now this is only a 2-second clip, so I better hope that the part of the time when I was talking about the goats was also only about 2 seconds. In this case, I'm not talking about goats at all, so just bear with me. It's only an example.
And I'll show you how I add images and video clips to cut a lot.
Okay, so there I was dropping in the video of the goat, but you're still listening to me talk. But maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you want us to be able to hear the goats at this point. So instead, I'm going to just delete this. Instead of dropping it in as a cutaway, I just want to insert it in the middle of my video. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to hit split. And this creates a little opening where the video clip can go. So now I've got that opening. I'm going to tap it again. I'm just going to hit the plus this time, which is going to drop it in. So now you're not going to be listening to me, and for a second you're going to be listening to the goats. These goats are hilarious, by the way.
And I'll show you how I add images and video.
That's so funny. You can also see how if you're going to drop in a video clip like this, you want to make sure that you've brought what you were saying to a natural sounding conclusion, and then you can drop this clip in, and then you start up again.
Equipment like an iPad that you might already have. And I'll show you how I add images.
That's very funny. If you happen to leave a moment of silence in here and it's longer than this little 2-second clip, that's okay. I've already shown you how you can cut bits and pieces out. So you can actually just cut out your whole moment of silence and drop this in. Okay, maybe I've changed my mind. I don't want the goats after all. I just click it and I delete it and I'm back to where I was.
And I'll show you how I add images.
If you have some of these little splits in here that you put in because you thought you were going to do something and you didn't end up doing it, it's no problem. You can just leave that little split. It's not going to.
And I'll show you how
your video's totally not affected by that. The only final thing I'll mention, let's just do it with the goats. So you might have a video clip that you want to add different narration on top of. So I'm going to put this back, the goats. And there's the audio of the goat speaking. You can see it right there.
And I'll show you.
But maybe for some reason you don't want people to hear the goat. You want to say something over it, something that you did not say in your video, but now you realize, oh, I want to drop this in and I want to talk about it for a minute. So I'm going to tap the audio. I'm going to hit detach audio, and it pulled the audio away from the goats. I'm going to delete it. Again, I'm not changing my original clip. I'm in a project here. So my original clip is unaltered, but within the context of this project, I've just taken the audio out and I'm going to record some new audio. So I'm going to press the record button. It says ready to record. Now I'm only going to talk for the length of this clip and it's only 2 seconds long. So here we go. I'm going to hit record. These are some goats. Whoops. I didn't hit stop in time. Let's just review it and see if that's okay.
These are some goats, and I'll show you how I add it.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, I should have stopped talking as the clip reached the end, but it went by so fast that I didn't. But I'm not going to change it right now. That's fine. I'm going to hit accept, which is going to add this video. And so here's what that's like now.
That you might already have. These are some goats, and I'll show you how I add images and video.
Okay, well, obviously you're not going to put these goats in the middle of your video, but I hope you can see how easy it is. I'm really just trying to show you how easy it is to just click and do this stuff. It's so simple. And I realize this is only a demo and there's a lot more that you might be curious about, might want to know. So I am going to put some links to more full-fledged classes that you can take. Also, if you are using a different software, probably it works more or less like this, so I hope this demo was still helpful to you. Once I'm finished, I'm going to name it. So let's just say I want to call this demo. And then I'm going to export it. I'm going to hit save video, and I'm going to export it. I do HD 1080, which is good, high quality. That's plenty for most formats. And that's going to save it as a video. If you need to go back in and edit, you can go back into this project and edit and resave it out as a different version of that video. Okay, I hope this has been helpful.